Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Monica here from the Slidell unit, and today we will be reading one of my favorite books of all times. One of my favorite characters of all times, and that's Curious George. Have you ever read a book from Curious George, one of the series? What's your favorite one? I'd like to know. Let me know in the comments, or you can also tell us on our Zoom calls during the week. So today we're going to be reading Curious George Visits the Toy Store. So let me go ahead and pull up my screen so we can share it. I'm so excited to read this. All right, so Curious George Visits a Toy Store by Alan Shellac, illustrated by H.A. Ray and Margaret Ray. Will George's playful nature drive customers away from the toy store? Or will everyone's favorite monkey find a clever way to save the day? Let's find out. This is George. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. Today was the opening of a brand new toy store. George and the man with the yellow hat did not want to be late. When they arrived, the line to go inside wound all the way around the corner. When a line is this long, it's not easy for a little monkey to be patient. George sneaked through the crowd. All he wanted was a peek inside. George got to the door just as the owner opened it. "This is no place for a monkey," she said. But George was so excited he was already inside. Balls, dolls, bicycles, and games filled the shelves. There were so many toys. George didn't even know how some of them worked. And how about these hoops? What did they do? George was curious. He climbed up to get one out the pile. It would not move. George pulled harder. Still, it wouldn't move. George pulled with all fours. Suddenly, there was a terrible crash. Red, blue, green, and yellow hoops bounced up and down and everywhere. "Look!" exclaimed the boy, bouncing up and down himself. "Why, I haven't seen one of these in years," the boy's grandmother said. She put a hoop around her waist and gave it a spin. George tried to hula hoop too. Then George pretended to be a wheel. He rolled and rolled and rolled. Oops! He rolled right into the owner. The owner shook her head. "I knew you were trouble," she said. "Now you've made a mess of my new store." Again, she tried to stop George. And again, George was too quick. In only a second, he was around the corner and on the highest shelf. Below him, George saw a little girl pointing to a toy out of her reach. "Mommy, can I get that dinosaur?" she asked. George picked up the dinosaur and lured it to the girl. She was delighted. So was the small boy next to her. "Could you get a ball for me, please?" he asked George. George reached up, grabbed the ball, and bounced it to the boy. "May I have that puppet way over there?" asked another girl. How lucky that George was a monkey. He swung off the shelf, hung on to the light, picked up the puppet, and put it right into the girl's hands. "What a show!" shouted a boy. The children held up their new toys and cheered. What a commotion! Immediately, the owner came running, and then came the man with the yellow hat. "I think we've had enough monkey business for one day," the owner frowned. Just then, a girl got in the long line to pay. "What a great store," she said. "What a great idea to have a little monkey helping you," her father told the owner. "I guess you're right," the owner replied and smiled. Then she gave George a special surprise. "Thank you, George," she said. "My grand opening is a success because of you. Perhaps monkey business is the best business after all." The end. So you see how George started getting in trouble at first. You know, he was just so excited, but then he became a big help at the end by helping some customers of the store reach items that they wouldn't be able to catch, that they wouldn't be able to reach if he wasn't a monkey. So the owner realized in the end it was good to have George at the store during her grand opening because he helped her. All right, so that's our book for today. I look forward to reading with you some more next week. Bye.